Welcome back, MTG Joe here, and today we're going to be playing some more Standard 2022, and we are going to be a little bit of a try-hard right now because it's the last 2 days, see if we can push into the top 1200, and one of the great things is Untapped GG now has Standard 2022 rankings, so we can see what decks are really performing well, and one deck that we've kind of seen always at the top of Standard 2022 thus far has been Mono Green Aggro. And particularly what stood out to me with this version is they're playing 4 of oran-reif ooze just to kind of buff your team. There's a lot of ways to put counters on things with like Rangers class. So something interesting that I wanted to try out to see how it plays out. So for those of you unfamiliar with Untapped, it is a companion tool, so it could show you in-game information in terms of like draw percentages, stuff like that, plus does a whole bunch of game tracking. So the link's in my bio below. It's free to download, free to use, so it's a very helpful tool, but we'll port over to Arena. The only change I made to that list is Gnarled Professor. This list is 59% win rate over 300 plus games, I think. I don't like the 4 Esca's Chariot. I like one Professor Gnarled Professor for a learn board. This version as well, it's playing 6 pieces of removal. So we have the 2 Inscription for Blizzard Brawl, and then the Protection and Snakeskin's Veil. And then you have kind of your Swarm Shambler, Werewolf Pack Leader, Old Growth Troll, Kazandu kind of package to kind of get ahead. Ranger's Class is just a fantastic card in this deck, providing you with a body, creature that gets bigger with the plus, and then card advantage off the top. We have Lair of the Hydra and Faceless Haven as well as creature lines that can attack in. So we will test this out, kind of tank my ranking, trying some brews. But we will go with some Mono Green, see how this plays out. As always, if you do enjoy the content, if you can, drop a like, comment, and subscribe. All are free and easy ways to help out the channel. We have been playing a lot of Standard 2022 since it came out. We'll dabble a bit into Historic as well, and take it from there. So this hand's a keep. Generally, you want to prioritize playing these lines out earlier, unless you have a Blizzard's Brawl in hand. But just having your lines come into play consistently untapped is important. Okay, Mono White Aggro. So basically this version is if they're on Redain or not and how fast they go wide. So that's a good start for them, especially if they have another 1-drop. Yeah. Do we trade here? Really want a land here. Okay, should have specified. Really wanted an untapped land here. I think I'm fine trading the Shambler with Usher of the Fallen if they want to attack here. Our stuff's going to get beefier than theirs, especially with this Old Growth Troll. So some of these versions play Skyclave Apparition, some don't. That's annoying. That is annoying. I think we're comfortable just continuing to trade off resources here. So that'll be good for following turns. We really need lands. Just haven't hit lands this game. So they probably take the Blizzard's Brawl. That's an interesting one. Question is, do we trade here? I think I'm fine with this trade. So I can do this. I think we're doing this. And then it's probably just pest summoning. Fight here. And this is where, like, they've gone through a lot of resources now. They don't have a Faceless Haven. Now, if you top deck like that, so I think we one, two, three. I think we do this turn and then level up. That's annoying. Those are some good top decks. We'll give them that. I think we're just gonna continue to prioritize taking them off creatures. Chariot's nice. We need the snow land here. So we do this, and then do this, and then get a 4/4. And then next turn I can copy the 4/4 with the Escos Chariot, so they can pump here, they get double strike, but I'll happily trade. And now we're in a good spot, I think. We've stabilized a bit of the early game. Happy to trade here. Again, just keeping him off creatures. Because now I can play this out, activate with this, and then just make some tokens. Spread around. And then next turn, just with the Hydra land should be enough. I can always copy the token off the old growth trail. Nice. Alright. 1-0 with the deck. That one felt a bit better than the last deck I played. Mono green aggro. Didn't get to try out the oran-reif there, but basically the learn package kind of saved our butt there. Being able to kind of insulate. Again, I think this hand's fine. Shambler into Shambler. Seems good. Opponent goes first. Kazandu's likely going to be a land on turn 2. Kazandu will no longer be a land on turn 2. Okay, so this can be the CGB Blood Money deck, which is very good against mono green. Absent. So I think next turn is going to be level up and hold up Snakeskin. Could be Goldspan Dragon out of them. Let's see what they do here. I think that's fine. We trade for that. Next turn I can go Old Growth with Shambler. At this point in the game we can probably race Goldspan. So I'm playing this out pre-combat, because this will force them, if they have a removal, I get 2 tokens out of it. If they have Shadow's Verdict, I'm just screwed anyways, so not much we can do here. So our deck's pretty like soft to Shadow's Verdict, given our start. Okay, Showdown's fine. Like, their Dragon's gonna get a bit bigger, but... Okay. No lands is very good. They can play Immerstorm Predator, but again, I don't particularly care. It's probably Kazandu as a land. Eight, 10, 11, 12 mana. So I think we're doing... Oh, I'm just dead. Because of the flyer. I needed to force with this to make them block. Oh. Okay. That seems wrong, but sure. They had lethal on board. I'm not missing something, am I? Because they had Goldspan. This attacks, that's 12 damage. This when it taps. Okay, so they missed lethal. Because now they can only hit me for 9. 10. They can go Goldspan. They have like Dragon Fire, then that gets me, but that's 9, that's 10. So they block, they block. I put trample on one of them. They block the 4, they take 4. That's not lethal. They block, they block. I put the trample on a different one. Okay, so I think that's what we gotta do. So 3 damage. Need an untapped land. I think that should do it. Because they have to block the old growths, and now they take 5 damage regardless. That doesn't matter. Alright, so opponent punted that away. Two-0. Nicely done. 2-0. Run this one more time, see how it goes. Oh, that's the power there. Like, so the deck is always soft to flyers. So sometimes Goldspan can be a bit of a problem. We didn't draw any of our 6 fight spells that game, but just kind of trading aggressively. Again, I think this hand's fine. Like 2 lands in a row would be really nice. Give me a land. Give me a land. We needed a land. That's pretty good. Wasn't expecting them to block. We needed a land there. This hand's so good if we get one more land. So I think we're just attacking here. Passing the turn. Reason I did that was if they have a fight, I want to be able to respond to the fight with inscription. If not, I just put counters on it. Can we get a land, please, deck? One time a land. Oh my god. This is kind of silly at this point. So this is just a game where variance is getting the better of us. We've needed one land for multiple turns now. Can't get it. Now their pack leader is going to be too big. Whenever you cast a spell if was in this color, enters with an additional 1/1 counter. I think I'm gonna Blizzard's Brawl here. I don't want him to get too... I don't want him to get the card draw off it, and they're outpacing me at this point. Oh, they're like all in snow. It's gonna get real big. Holy hell, about time. I think we're doing this. Just try to race them at this point. Because if they attack with both, I have oran-reif to power up the old growth. This can get trample anyways. So I think the way we win this is by trying to like sneak through the win. Okay, we have Chariot. Yeah, they're getting too much here. We missed lands way too many turns in a row. That's interesting, just getting you another land out of the deck. We just didn't hit this game. The hand was a keep. We just weren't gonna get out of that. They got all their pumps and stuff. That was unfortunate. I would have liked to see, like, we draw a land one or two turns earlier. We're competing. Instead, we just kind of get stuck there. Blizzard's Brawl ends up having to throw away creatures as opposed to just being able to get the plus, fight, and keep our thing. I think regardless, you keep that hand every time. I'm gonna try this hand. Big thing here is no Rangers class. But I think a curve of Pack Leader, Inscription to fight something, or just make Pack Leader bigger into Chariot's really nice. Okay, so they're on the Sentinel builds. So notably with this version, we're not playing Jaspera Sentinel. Okay, so they can't get turn 3 Old Growth. Shambler. So they're on the heavier ramp version. See what they play here. I think I'd rather keep the Inscription potentially for when we can kick it at 5 mana. Might be able to surprise them with this. Just putting counters on it could be good. time for Blowout City. So they tap here. Put 2 counters here. If we had 1 more mana to fight Kazandu too, that'd be really nice. So they could have a fight spell here. No, just Chariot. We'll take the 5 here. They're face up on the table now. So this can get base power, so it could become a 7. I think we want to just keep like the potential of trample up. Because if they block like poorly, then we could potentially just trample over a lot of damage. That's 7, that's 9, 10, 11. So I can Chariot, which is probably the best use of my mana. Lets me go the widest here. Just another Kazandu here. Could see an attack with their Chariot. Got him. Got him. Got him good. Stacks felt really good. I would really like to play like Vivian Monsters Advocate in this deck, just on the top end. Opponent goes first. This hand doesn't really do much. Like, we don't have plays till turn 3. Okay, this hand's much better. Gonna put back a forest. Because if we draw another land... Yeah. Okay, so it could be Blood Money. Silver Quill Silencer. Depending what they play out here, probably just put counters on this. Honestly, I don't even think we put counters on it. Because if they attack, then I just, like, block and trade here. Play draw here would have been a big difference. I think we're just doing this turn. Werewolf Pack Leader's pretty nice. So they could have Vanishing Verse this turn. Pack Leader lets me put a counter on it. But then the following turn I can do both. Which I kind of like that. I want to bait out their first piece of removal. So I think Kazandu's better served this turn. Obviously, if we had Blizzard Brawl, it'd be a bit better. This means Professor can't really attack. And if they want a Vanishing Verse, it's better for me anyways. Okay, so we know they have at least some number in hand. Let's see what they do here. If they go Vanishing Verse here, then I go Eska's Chariot. So they have something. Okay. This looks like Clerics potentially, so if they have Righteous Valkyrie, I want to be able to kill the Righteous Valkyrie. Okay. Seems decent. Okay, could just be like black-white aggro. Second Professor. Tap out. Tap out for Sciences. If this is just Vanishing Verse, then I'm happy. Getting another copy out there is good. Yep. It's kind of interesting. You think you'd want Mascot at this point? You already have 5 lands. Life gain doesn't seem super relevant with you being at 19. Okay, these are going to be a bit of an issue. Okay, so have Rangers class. See how they block here. So I can let these go. Because I drew this, because I can't play out both of these. I can put counters on this. But then it just kind of trades later. So I think we just trade here. Play this out. Do Rangers class, because then next turn I can Inscription. And try to catch them on weird blocks. Because these angels are going to be a problem. Okay. Opponent did not want to play the game anymore. So I think we went 4-1 with the deck. Felt very, very good. I don't know if we didn't get enough of a sample size to really say whether or not oran-reif ooze was worth it. Honestly, like, kind of want just more like removal, or maybe the problem is green doesn't have like good learn cards other than like Gnarled Professor. I would have to see like what other creatures we can play. Like, Jaspar is fine if you get it early, but it's not the most impactful card. What do you have? Like, Finn's not very good. We don't play enough spells to make this work. You have to sacrifice a creature for that. You just ramp creatures. Mask Vandal, again, not super great. This guy puts standard 2022. It's pulling up cards that are not legal. And then just see creatures. This is like, you try it out, see what works. Cobra we don't really need. Eska we're never going to turn it on. So this was something that was interesting that we can also consider. So whenever you cast a creature spell, if snow mana was spent to cast it, it enters the battlefield with an additional 1/1 counter. 3/2 on its own isn't fantastic, but it kind of buffs up your other ones. Whenever another creature named, so doesn't really cycle there. Jorn doesn't do too much in the deck. We don't really have a snow synergy. Realm Walker, we have like too many differing types. Yeah, nothing shares a type with it. Scoot Swarm, again, you're not looking to necessarily use that ability. Reach Ward, whenever you cast a creature, Planeswalker, enter into a dungeon, this ability triggers. Varus could be something you try out. I don't mind this. Like, the dungeon theme was pretty good from when I was playing it. And then, like, at this point of the curve, we're too high to be meaningful. Don't think we want Battle Mammoth. Toski is another card that's pretty decent. Vorinclex too expensive. This doesn't do enough, really. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, put counters. Again, we don't have a huge amount here. Like, sometimes being able to play off the hybrid is decent. The Packmaster doesn't do enough. It's not really colorless creatures that you get. So oran-reif is probably the best. I would probably next try out. I actually have seen some. Whenever a creature you control with power equal to its toughest attacks against trample to end the turn. This is something else I've seen some copies of, which could be interesting. Maybe trim down 2 oozes, play 2 of these. Could be decent. Yeah, like you're gonna be kind of trimming around the edges. Like, we're a limited card pool. Like, even Tajuru just being a 3/2 for 2 mana. Reveal top 6 cards: Cleric, Rogue, Warrior, Wizard. So it can hit this. Could just hit that. Yeah, so, like, there's options. Like, I wouldn't say we're completely out of it. There's definitely things we can play. The dungeon has been a mechanic I've liked. If I could spell. Like, it's just incidental value. Whenever it attacks, if you attack with 6 power creature. Honestly, a 2/3 reach isn't terrible on its own. Like, 2 of these, 2 of these. Because then you just do the whatchamacallit one. I don't want to craft. The Hall of the Mad Mage one. The one where they lose all their life. I'd consider that. But yeah, this is where I'd start. Definitely something to try out. Appreciate everyone stopping by. And as always, if you can, like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.